Hi, students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian, and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Hungary here in Central Europe. I hope everybody has had a good start to their weekend. You're getting in some studying time as well as some time to relax. In this class, we are looking at the IELTS speaking section, specifically focusing on part 2, the cue card, the long answer. And we're going to talk about what kind of strategies you need to use to get that band 9 ultimate score. This is a members chat class. To become a member, click the join button beside the subscribe button on the channel. If you don't see that, you can send me an email. I'll share my email in a moment. Hi, Carolina. Nice to see you in class. While we wait for a few more members to join in, this lesson is presented to you by aehelp.com. For academic IELTS, please visit us there and join our premium package. For general IELTS, check us out at gieltshelp.com. On both of these websites, we have loads of materials for you to study, improve your English, your communication, and get a better band score. Hi, Yura. Hi, Preeti. Hi, Ferdovs. Hi, Pavan. Nice to see many members jumping in on the class. This is our academic website here at aehelp.com. Click that big red button to join the premium package. And for the general version, it's with the green background at gieltshelp.com. Click that big red button to join there. Hi, Rajveer. Nice to have you in the class. Again, students, if you're having difficulties joining and becoming a member, just send me an email, adrian@aehelp.com, or if you have other questions about the exam or our products, just feel free to reach out and contact me. This is a speaking class, students, so speak as much as possible. Speak and repeat what I say. Questions, answers, corrections, vocabulary, write down new words that you hear throughout the class. For those of you who like to learn from paper back books, exams, Amazon, search for AEhelps Academic IELTS or GE Helps General IELTS. You can find our exams there. So today we're doing Speaking Part 2, Speaking Part 3. Speaking Part 3 will be an all-chat class coming up in about 90 minutes. And then I will post the schedule for next week's classes later today on our community board. Hi, Yura. So let's get into our speaking for today. So again, you're at your exam and you arrived early, of course. You walked into your exam. Before we get into the speaking part 2, every few speaking classes, I like to remind students of these two really important points that can help you bump up your speaking by at least one band score. What are two really important steps that you should do right before your exam? Okay, let's do a quick little reminder for everyone about this. So what are two critically important steps? And this is important for part 1, part 2, and part 3. So two crucial steps to take before you walk into your IELTS speaking interview. Okay, what are they? So can you remind me of what those are? Yeah, for Dobbs, I will post as much as I can on the community board about speaking part 2 and 3. So what are those crucial steps? What do we need to do? Okay, what is an absolute must right before our speaking interview? Yeah, so Rajveer says, reach the exam center about an hour before and practice speaking. Try to find somebody else. Absolutely, Rajveer. So get to the exam center an hour early. Speak English only. Take some sample questions with you and ask other candidates to warm up and practice with you? Yeah, that's absolutely one. That's one of the two. What's the other one? So good job, Rejvir. You get my first big thumbs up of the day. Very nice, Amira. Thank you. Yeah. So Amira says, have your mental checklist, which can actually be a piece of paper, and imagine that your examiner is your grandpa. Yeah, absolutely. So have your mental checklist with you, a list of your 5 greatest weaknesses for speaking, and visualize your examiner as your grandfather or grandmother. Or we could say those are 2 separate points, but let's combine them into one today, because this point 2 is happening, of course, literally just a couple minutes before you walk into your interview. Okay, grandfather, grandmother. Why? Because you speak clearly with complete information and respectfully to your elders. You do not assume that they are up to date with all of the latest trends. Okay, so meaning that you don't assume they know about Facebook in a great amount of detail, or Instagram, or other social media, or the latest smartphone. So you speak to them in a much clearer way, okay? And you speak to them respectfully, and you speak loudly, because grandma, grandpa is maybe hard of hearing. Plus, of course, a very important one is you stay calm. Why? Because you know that grandma and grandpa love you, and they're not going to insult you or judge you with negative criticism, okay? So that's why. So those 2 steps, students, believe me that these 2 steps, if you follow these carefully and you practice these before the exam, and then you really pay attention to do them when you're there, can easily make the difference of a full band score. Okay, and we've had lots of students come back to us and say, yeah, I did that, and guess what? No surprise, I got a band score better. I even felt better. So we've had lots of students say that it's worked well for them. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right. Let's get back to our cue card. So you do all of this, okay? You're calm, you're confident, and you go through part 1 with the examiner, and then the examiner says, okay, that's the end of part 1. Now we will continue with part 2. For part 2, here's a card with some questions. There's some note paper and a pencil. You will have 1 minute to think about your answers. Take notes in the 1 minute if you wish. I will tell you when to start, when to stop. Your 1 minute preparation time begins now. So you flip over the card, and then you see this on the card. So talk about a successful day in your life. Immediately read this topic sentence twice, just so you're really clear on what you actually need to do, okay? You have to be specific, okay? So you must not begin your answer by saying, there are many successful days in a person's life, or I've fortunately had several successful days in my life, but the one that I'd really like to talk to you about is, no, 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 no. Be specific, okay? Get right into it. The more specific you are, the more detailed you are, the higher your band score will be, guaranteed, okay? So talk about meaning 1 successful day in your life. This means a 24-hour period, okay? You should say, when did it happen? What was challenging in the day? Why you were successful? Would you do anything differently if you had the chance again? Okay, that's kind of interesting. So, you've read the card carefully. It's clear. All right. Now, what do you do? So what do you do, members? You've read the card, you've read the topic statement twice, you're visualizing, you're confident that you know what's going on here. So what's your next step? Okay, so upon reading the card, your next step is, yeah, identify the category. I think that's what you meant as well, Carolina. Yeah, so identify the category and recognize the information that you need to include and its sequence, right? So what are we talking about here? What's our category? Carolina says it's an event in the past. Absolutely. Yeah. So in this example here, it's a past event. Okay, so right away I realize I have to use past tense of verbs. Past tense, past perfect, present perfect, continuous forms. Okay, so you want to show that grammar range. Remember, that is one of the big criteria that the examiner is marking you for, is your grammar range. So definitely reflect on these. Okay, make sure to practice them. To get a band 9, you really do have to show in this kind of a topic that you're able to use a variety of tenses to speak about the past. Okay, so you realize it's a past event. It's an event. So what's the sequence of information? What's the most logical? You don't have to keep to this sequence 100%, but it should be a strong guideline. Okay, Roshni, we're not coming up with our unique idea just yet. That's the next step. Okay, so Rajveer says, what is the event? Okay, so 1. Okay, what is the event? 2, the location of the event. Sure, so where was the event? 3, what else? So when did the event take place? I would say that's probably closer to 2. Time is usually more important for humans than location. It's because we're all bound by time. Time is our greatest asset. Time is our most valuable asset. We're all bound by it. We all live. We're born. We live. We die. So time is quite important for us. Okay. So location of the event would be 3rd. And then what comes after that? Okay. Carolina says it's location, time it happened, the attendees, the significance, and the meaning for you. Yeah, absolutely. So the attendees, so who was there, right? Okay. Yep, the attendees. So who was there? 5, the significance and meaning for you, Carolina, that's the same idea. Okay, so the activities. Activities and what you did there, it's a little bit different because maybe there were activities that you didn't participate in. So activities that happened and its significance for you. Okay, the activities that happen, like a wedding, for example, they tied the knot. They said their vows and then agreed to spend their lives happily together forever after. That would be part of the activities that happen there. So, but yeah, Carolina, I get what you're saying by significance. So, and its importance for you. So that's kind of how you can think about it, okay? So what was the event? When did the event take place? its location, the attendees, activities that happen, and its importance for you. Now, with 1, 2, and 3, don't spend a lot of time. Okay, 1, 2, and 3 should only take you about 20 seconds. So you should only spend about 20 seconds talking about 1, 2, 3. Okay, more of your time should be spent focusing on 4, 5, 6. Okay, so like the other 100 seconds. All right. So that's the meat of it. That's the content when you're talking about the activities and how you felt about it. Okay, visualize that and go into detail. So now, I think it was Roshni that said this, to think about 2 or 3 possible occasions that you can answer. Okay, so this is all happening quickly because you're practicing this before the exam. So you turn over the card and you know right away, okay, I've read it carefully. I know what it's about. I'm visualizing. It's an event. I know what I need to say. Now I need to think of a couple of ideas. So this is where you can spend a little bit more of your 1-minute preparation time, okay? So next step, spend about 20 seconds of your 1 minute to think of 2 or 3 good ideas to choose the best from. Okay. So again, I've taught this again over and over. Still, a lot of students come back to me and go, "Oh yeah, I totally forgot to think of 2 or 3 ideas." Okay, it's really important. This can be a band score maker. All right, so this can be the difference of a full band score. Okay, so there aren't too many points that can actually impact your band score in those 2 minutes or in the 3 minutes for part 2 and your speaking score by one band. Most of your band score will come from how much English you know and how well you communicate. And that you built from months and months and years of learning English and studying. But there are a few critical steps that can, in that very short time of the interview, change your band score from a band 6 to a band 7, 7.5, or the other direction. One that I mentioned earlier were those 2 steps going into the exam, okay? And this is another one that can be the difference of one band score, all right? Is choosing the best possible answer for part 2. Why? Because that will also affect your part 3 answers, okay? So remember that. So your choice of topic for part 2 will also affect your quality of communication for part 3. Why? Because part 3 are topics related to part 2. Okay? So choosing the right answer is absolutely critical. All right? Give me some topics, members. So what are some possible ideas that you could say for talk about a successful day in your life? Okay, so talk about a successful day in your life. What are some topics that come to mind where you're thinking, okay, this would be good? And I know that when students find the right topics, then they feel it. They're like, oh yeah, that's a good topic. I can talk comfortably about that. Okay. So Carolina says winning a marathon. Okay. Okay, so possible topics, possible answers, winning a marathon. Sure. Now, for something like this, where it's talk about a successful day in your life, you should try to choose one that you really did experience. I mean, we all certainly have some experiences like that, right? So Rajveer is saying a job interview. Okay, so getting a job, I think. Getting a job, which would include that job interview, sure. Let's see what other ones come up. Winning a quiz competition, Pavan, that's a little bit unclear because it's not specific. So, Pavan, I would say something like winning a math competition. Okay, so quiz, what do you mean quiz? It's not clear. Okay. Visualize, students. So visualize those clear days. I saw another one there, which was graduation. All right. Again, keep in mind those 2 points, unique and easy to talk about. Okay. Graduation, okay, we'll talk about these in a moment of what I think about these. Oh, just a second, students. I'll get us back here. My camera just took a snooze there. I'll give you a little bit more time to think of a few more potential answers. Okay. So here we go. All right. Back we are. Success in business is okay. Again, you have to remember that you're being specific here. Okay, let's see. Win a marathon, hired to do a job, winning a math competition, a good result on an exam, winning a cricket match. Yeah, so winning a sports game, right? And I like how you're being specific, Rajveer. So winning a cricket match. Sure, that could be good. You're saying win an art contest. Okay. Amir, I think, just said the same. So win art contest. All right. Roshni, save an animal. Yeah, save a dog. Okay, that's kind of cool. I like that one, Roshni. Definitely. It's unique. It's easy to talk about. Okay, that's a good one. All right. Amira says preparing my son's birthday. Okay, so I think, Amira, what you mean is hosting a successful party. So we're doing more here just because I want you to see the range of ideas that can come up here. All right. What else? Carolina says presenting in English or passing an exam. Okay, how about this one, students? Passing the driver's test. If I think about all of the different successful days that I've had in my life, one of the ones that really kind of sticks with me is passing my driving exam and getting licensed to drive a car. That's a great feeling, and I think it's fairly easy to talk about. Okay, so lots of ideas. Again, visualize, right? So here are our possible answers, okay? So winning a marathon, I think that's good. I think it's fairly easy to talk about. It's unique. It's a specific. It's not just any running race, but it's a long distance marathon. Okay, if you actually did that or even just ran a marathon, that could be good. Getting a job is okay. I don't think it's unique. I think a lot of people might choose this answer. I think winning a math competition or some kind of a school quiz competition would be a very popular answer and a little bit difficult to talk about. Okay. Graduation is not really one day of success, but it's the celebration of your success as a student. So I don't think graduation is the best choice, even though many people would choose that one. Winning a cricket match or winning some kind of a sports contest is similar to a marathon. I think that would be great. That would work well. You could be unique and talk about that easily. Okay, what led up? An art contest is okay. I think saving a dog is a fantastic one. So saving a dog or saving a person's life, that could be a very effective choice. Okay. Hosting a successful party is not bad. So an anniversary for parents or a birthday for children, all of the organization that you had to do, and then the attendees, of course, then the feedback that you got from the people who went to the party. So that could be quite good as well, and it could be quite unique. Okay. You just have to make sure that you're not repeating yourself over and over and over again if you're talking about this topic, but you have lots of content, okay? And then passing a difficult exam, probably again a very popular response, like winning some kind of school competition or getting a job. So a lot of students would choose that, so you would be slightly compared, I think, with this one. But it's okay. I think this one's the better one of the others for popular answers, okay? And then, of course, passing the driver's test, I think there's a lot that you could talk about there as well, okay? All right, so I see there's more options too, students, but let's go with one of these. So let me just number these, okay? So winning a marathon, 1, getting a job, 2, winning a school competition, 3, graduation, 4, winning a cricket match or a sports match, let's make that 5, art contest, 6, saving a life or helping society in some way, could be a 7, hosting a party, 8, and then passing a difficult exam, 9, and a driver's test, 10. Choose the one, so just the number, and we'll do it by most popular vote. So vote for the one that you want to tackle today together as a group, and then we'll focus on that one and develop the answers, okay? So Carolina says 7. Let's talk about saving a dog. I think that's great. Ferdov says, how about passing a driver's test? I think that's a useful one. Pavan Rajveer both agree on 5, which is winning the cricket match. So that's the most popular vote for today. Ferdovs, you've already put in your vote once. So one vote only. All right, one vote only. No double voting. This isn't politics. So 5 looks like the most popular so far. If there are no others voting, Kalatoon 1, Preeti 7, saving a dog. So we have a tie between saving a dog and the cricket match. Any tiebreakers? Do we have any more members left to vote here? Any tiebreakers? Okay, Vatsal seems to be the tiebreaker with the cricket match. Good job, Vatsal, coming in at the end there. All right, so we'll go with that then. We'll go with cricket match. Again, members, you can always redo these speaking part 2s with some other topic, okay, that you think is a good choice, and then send me that MP3 recording and I'll reflect on it, okay? So Amira said 10 as well, the driver's test. Okay, so obviously those are... So notice, students, that the ones that you thought were the best were saving a dog, cricket match, and driver's test. These were your top 3 choices, just for interest, okay? These were your top 3 choices, and I would agree that among all of these possible answers for this part 2, a successful day in your life, these 3 would be top choices for me as well. Okay. So let's stick with cricket match. We've chosen that one. So saving a dog or passing the driver's test, we can do that next time or another time, or you can do that on your own. Okay. All right. So let's go to our next step, which is creating some useful notes. Okay. So our choice is winning a cricket match And now we need some useful notes. Okay. Give me some useful notes. What would be some notes that I know Preeti's like 7 also has 3 votes. Guys, let's stick with the cricket match for today, okay? I think it's a good one. Drivers is also a good one. Try that on your own at home, okay? It was my suggestion, so I'd like to go with a student's suggestion today. All right, so let's take some useful notes. All right, let's get into it. We want to get talking, right? So what would be useful notes for a successful day winning a cricket match? Okay, so Amira says 3 weeks ago. Whenever you can, use numbers. Okay, 3 weeks ago. Good. I like it. It's specific, Amira. More information. Again, when you're taking your notes, members, remember, follow the this pattern. So what is the event? Give me a useful note for what is the event. Okay? So again, when you're taking your notes, stay with the same order of information that the category demands. Okay? So what is the event? So Ferdav says India-Pakistan Junior Championship, right? All right. Remember, students, you have to make it believable. So for Dobbs, you're saying World Cup final, but you have to make it somewhat believable, right? You can't say that you were unlikely that you were participating in a major championship unless you really are that person. But you have to make it believable. So it needs to be believable. Okay. So India versus Pakistan Junior Championship. Okay. Yeah, exactly, Rajveer. It has to be what you played. That's right. Remember, students, this is why you have to read that topic sentence twice. It's talk about a successful day in your life, and this means that it's your success, okay? So what was challenging in the day? Why were you successful? So watching a cricket game where somebody wins, it's not really your success, okay? You're a fan. So stay with it, okay? You have to be believable. Okay, and again, stay with the same order. Okay, so Roshni says 1st of August, sure. Amira says it's a local club with my friends. That works as well, okay? Keep going, so keep giving me some notes here. Your notes should be coming quickly. When you practice this at home, the steps, then it should go quite fast, okay? So we have what is the event? We have when is the event? What's the location of the event? So where did it take place? Where was this cricket pitch or cricket field? Okay. So location. So 11 players on each team, that's fine. We don't need to describe what cricket is. Most people have an idea about that. Okay, so Carolina is going family, friends, 2,000 fans. Okay, so that's the attendees that you're getting into. All right, but before that, we need the location. Okay, what university, Rajveer? Give me the name of a university. So New Delhi University? University. Yeah. Okay, that's better. Sure. Family, friends, 2,000 fans, maybe some scouts. For pro teams, TV, radio stations. Okay? So when you think of attendees, be clever, visualize, all right? Okay, usable, Vatsal, usable notes. Okay, notes that give you extra detail and information. Near my home, it's not really usable. That's in your head. You can say that without writing it on paper. Anything that you write on your note paper, you should be able to use. This isn't just for IELTS, it's also true for your presentation. So if you're ever giving a business presentation or a presentation in your college or university class, only have notes on your paper or on your PowerPoint that are actually usable. So don't write down points that are intuitive or clear, okay? All right, so prize, $10,000 for the school and tickets to Taj Mahal. Sure, okay. All right, so now this is fast. So this is only for the first 20 seconds, what we have so far. Because remember what I said. So here, this is only for the location, when, the attendees. That's only 20 seconds of your speaking. You have to have more notes and more focus on the activities that happen there and the importance to you and your feeling about it. So give me some information about the activity. So what happened there? Okay? What actually happened? So tied until the final inning. I believe it's innings in cricket. I'm not big into cricket myself, just because it's not as common in my part of the world, but I believe you call them innings. There are cricket clubs in Victoria, but I never got into it much. Okay, so played 20 matches. Now, it's just one day, right? So this has to be the final, right? So played 2 matches. Because you won't be playing 20 matches. So don't forget, Rajveer, you're staying with 1 day. Okay, 1 day. Jaspreet, if I'm not mistaken, just like in baseball, in cricket, you also have innings where you switch up from defensive to offensive position. And each time you switch is an inning. Right? Okay. All right. So Roshni says 100 runs. Okay. All right. And then you're feeling about it. So best day of my life and so on. All right, students, let's get more into it now. Let's just start speaking. So I want to definitely get going here. So let's get our first sentence ready. So what is our first sentence? Give me some first sentences for this, student. So we have notes. Our 1 minute is up. The examiner says, okay, your 1 minute is up. Please begin speaking. Before that happens, Amira says, best player's arms broken. Sure, Amira. So those are some good ideas. They're unique, Amira. Let's get our first sentence ready, okay? Carolina, I really like that one. So my last hit gave us the victory. Sure, that's great. Okay. First sentences. Let's see some good ones. Again, remember, be specific, be very direct. When you're thinking about your first sentence, it might be a good idea to just quickly take a peek at the card again. So talk about a successful day in your life. You should say when it happened, what was challenging in the day, why were you successful? Okay. So again, remember, students, for notes, you just keep short ideas, okay? Ferdov says, a prosperous day in my life was when I won a cricket championship in Delhi University in 2010. We said 3 weeks ago, so let's not deviate from our notes. Let's stick to it. Okay. Prosperous is not the same necessarily as successful for doves. Prosperous means that it was a good day and it's close to successful, but it's not quite the same. I would just use the word successful here for doves. To be on the safe side, students, for your first sentence, don't paraphrase the main point of the question, okay? It's good that you did that for doves because I've wanted to say this to students in the past, and I'm going to actually make a note of it this time, okay? So for your first sentence, do not paraphrase the key words of the topic, okay? You really want to accurately show that you have the right idea. A prosperous day in my life would be one where I made a lot of money. Would be a little bit better, or where I collected a lot of food or got a lot of items or bought a house, something like that. For doves would be a little bit different, okay? So Rajveer says, a successful day in my life was the day I played a cricket match against Pakistan's college team 3 weeks ago. Okay, good. So an exceptionally successful day in my life was when I played a cricket match against Pakistan college, against a Pakistan college team 3 weeks ago. Okay, that would be a good first sentence. Let's see. Amira says, the most successful day in my life was 3 weeks ago when I won the cricket championships. Very good, Amira. I like it. It's direct. Boom, you're into it. Nice. Yura says, one of the most memorable, successful days throughout my life was the time I won a cricket match 3 weeks ago. Yes, Yura. Good. Okay. Vatsal says, my successful day is when we won the India-Pakistan Junior Championship at Delhi University Stadium 3 weeks ago. Very good, Vatsal. I love how specific you are there. Okay, just watch your grammar a little bit. Pavan says, I believe my most successful day was when I won a cricket tournament, which was one of the most anticipated matches against Pakistan a couple of weeks ago at Delhi University. Pavan, so much better than in the past. Good job. That's what you need to do. Okay? Nice direct answers. Okay, so this was a highly anticipated match that took place on August 2nd at at New Delhi. Never spell Delhi. I don't know why it's that H that really gets me. Delhi University Stadium. Which was, in fact, the junior college championships. Sure. Okay, fantastic. Now, we have what it was, we have when it was, what, and we have where it was. So we have when, what, where. What's my next sentence? So give me my next sentence. Okay. Yep, so Rajveer says it was held in the Delhi University Stadium, which is one of the largest in all of India. Sure, okay, great. So now we have some good information about what, where, when, and again, we don't spend a lot of time here. Okay, this is not the meat of the response. The meat of the response is what happened and how you felt about it. Okay? So give me some more information here. Before the what happened, how I felt about it, of course, we should mention the attendees. Okay? So give me some sentences. So the teams have already won most of their games. And on this day, the final was held, okay, sure, between my team and another college team. Yeah, Rajveer. Let's talk about the attendees. So who was there? Okay, that's always one of the first ideas. Many students forget to include this, is who was there, okay? Because we assume that the listener just knows that there were fans there and there were other people there. But in the IELTS, you need to tell the examiner this information, okay? So I'll write while you're giving me some sentences. Among the 5,000 fans that crowded the stadium, many of my friends and most of my family were also there, cheering me on. I had been preparing for this match since my early childhood. Now, I threw this in. Why did I do that? So, can anybody tell me why I put this sentence in here nice and quick? So I had been preparing for this match since my early childhood. Why did I decide to throw in this little sentence here? Okay. So Rajveer says there were around 5,000 spectators in the stadium who came to motivate and cheer our team. Very good, Rajveer. So you're on the same page as I am with that. That's excellent. So I said something similar. Among the 5,000 fans that crowded the stadium, many of my friends and most of my family were also there cheering me on. I had been preparing for this match since my early childhood. Why did I do that? Why did I put this sentence in here? Rajveer says to show some history. No, Rajveer, not quite. Yura says it kind of gives the feeling of why it was successful. Partly, that's right, Yura. So partly it is to show that this made the day that much more successful. Remember what I said earlier, okay? When we identified that this is a past event, then I said immediately you conceptualize that you have to use past tense, past perfect, present perfect, continuous forms to show your grammar range and accuracy for the examiner. So here, I did this nice and quickly just to show the examiner that I'm able to use past perfect with the continuous form. Had been doing. And by that, right away, I'm picking up points for my grammar range. So here, it wasn't simply the content that I was focusing on, but I was also focusing on showing grammar range, okay? Make sure to do that. So you can do that with little tricks. And I see that Carolina picked up on that. So Carolina picked up on, yeah, that's grammar range, right? Past perfect continuous. Exactly. So in addition, there were news channels or TV channels and talent scouts present. So I definitely made sure to put in an extra effort in hopes of being drafted by a professional team. All right. I'm using my notes here, right? So remember in my notes, I said that there were also TV channels and talent scouts. Scouts are people who look for talented athletes that they can hire or contract to play in professional leagues, right? So in addition, there were, let's not forget our be verb, TV channels and talent scouts present, so I definitely made sure to put in an extra effort in hopes of being drafted by a professional team. Okay. All right. Now we get into more activities. And the way I felt about this day. And what else? So, what else do I need to do here? What's missing? You have to be very careful in the IELTS, and it's definitely challenging because you're not just thinking of English, but you're really also thinking of communication and completing the task that's being asked of you, right? Never forget, students, that you're being asked to complete a task here. This is where the IELTS is not just, or the IELTS speaking is not just a chit chat. It's not a conversation. It's really a task. It's a challenge testing your communication. So Carolina says, why it was successful? No. Before you finish, you should always look at the card, okay? Anybody remember what was on the card? Still in my mind. What was on the card? There was one interesting question on the card, the final question, okay? Never forget about the final question on the card. Okay. Wasn't the challenges faced Kalatoon? That was part of it. Okay. Here is the card. Yeah, exactly, Rajveer. Very good. You kept that in mind. So would you do anything differently if you had the chance again? You have to answer that question. Otherwise, it's an incomplete answer and you're not getting a full band score. Okay. So make sure to answer that question as well. Okay. All right, so I have a little bit of a different homework for you today. So homework, at home, finish this response, record what we have so far, and give your own ending. Send it to me by email, okay? For feedback. So what I mean here, students, is I'd like you to go through this beginning part. Let's do that now together. And then I want you to record this and then continue with your own answer. Does that make sense? So just speak with me. An exceptionally successful day in my life was when I played a cricket match against the Pakistan college team 3 weeks ago. This was a highly anticipated match that took place on August 2nd at New Delhi University Stadium, which was in fact the Junior College Championships. Among the 5,000 fans that crowded the stadium for the finals, many of my friends and most of my family were also there cheering me on. I had been preparing for this match since my early childhood. In addition, there were TV channels and talent scouts present, so I definitely made sure to put in an extra effort in hopes of being drafted by a professional team. And then comes the rest of what you want to say. Okay? So That's the assignment. So repeat everything in the recording that we have so far, and then finish with all of this information using your notes, using your own ideas, okay? Pay attention to grammar and grammar range. Send me those recordings, and I'll gladly let you know what score you got and what you should kind of pay attention to, okay? That's it for today, students. Again, those MP3 recordings, and this is only for members, please send those to Adrian at aehelp.com. Coming up in 30 minutes, roughly, speaking part 3, okay? These speaking part 3 questions will not be a continuation of this one, but of the last part 2 that we did. Nevertheless, make sure that you attend that class. That's it for now, and hopefully I'll see most of you in about 30 minutes for speaking part 3. Bye for now. Have a great day.